What is up? How are you guys doing? I'm good. I've been partying a little bit. I work tonight. This is Sunday night. We're here for our energy oracle forecast. After work, my friends had a housewarming party. And by the time I got off work, they had already moved to another location, a second location. And they say the second location is what gets ya. And it sure did. They had moved to Queer Dance Party, which is like a holiday in Nashville. Ever so often, there is an event that happens at different locations around town. It's Queer Dance Party, and the queer community get together and throw like a big rave dance party, which is super fun. And it's about to be Halloween, so it was already a theme party going to this housewarming party. It was supposed to be 90s horror, and I went as the craft. And then I didn't make it in time for the house party. So I just met up at Queer Dance Party. So I got to catch the drag show and I got to go dancing and just have like a couple of drinks and not do any damage. So it was perfect. Perfect, except I would have liked to have been on more enhancements for Queer Dance Party, for costume party. But I'll just show you guys my craft costume. I think that I did pretty good. I went and watched The Craft, and I was like inspired by the slow motion montage scene. Earrings, barrette. The barrette, I believe she's wearing even a light plastic barrette. I've got these like cross earrings. All the girls have their own style of cross earrings. I feel like I'm like a fusion of them all. So I wanted to be the craft, or one of the people in the craft, because one of the other girls is going to be Nancy. She looked perfect. She had found all the perfect accessories. So I'm just more of like a fusion of an inspiration of a craft throw up, but it's good. It's still good. Anyway, enough about that. It was a fun night. There was fairly straightforward parking involved, so no murder. That's always good. All right, let's tune in for the energy of the week to see what we need to know on our weekly energy oracle forecast. If you're new here, we are basically tuning into the spiritual and energetic weather of the week ahead. This is going to describe the conditions that we're going to be living and moving and having our being in. We have connection. So you might be like, there was something in my mind that just clicked, and it was like something in your mind is clicking, like you're starting to make the connections, like things are adding up. You know, have you ever like started a new thing, a new venture or a new job, or you're new somewhere and everything's just hard at first and you don't get it. And everything, you're just like struggling and like you keep making mistakes, you keep kind of fucking it up. And then all of a sudden one day it just clicks, you know? I don't know if you guys have ever seen I don't know why this is coming into my mind right now, but Private Benjamin. It's a movie from maybe the late 70s or early 80s with Goldie Hawn. And she's like this like socialite. For whatever reason, she has to go join the army, and she's put through the paces and she's never been like tested before. And it's kind of like that's the mood right now, and sort of we're like making connections. But there also might be literal connections that you're making or that you have potential to make right now. The full moon that just happened in Taurus, Jupiter has been in Taurus, so that kind of was like activating that energy of expanding the Taurus themes, which are connected to Venus, which are our abundance, beauty, love, the things that make us feel lust for life and passion and kind of tuned in and tapped in and turned on. So love, relationships, fun, social life, the things that make us feel secure, money, abundance, artwork, beauty, home decor, things that make you feel enriched and sensually delighted. So those things are being expanded right now. So there may be opportunities coming in, or new connections being made, or new friends, or expanded things that help us connect with that which is outside of ourselves. So that might be a theme this week, is making connections within our mind, within our like subconscious, like, oh, I'm connecting how that pattern relates to this behavior, but also maybe like literal connections in the world. All right. What else do we need to know? Vision. So I like this, built on connection. So it's like we are, and I like that all of these body systems here are connected, and then we have like vision. It's like all of a sudden our vision is connecting and with our systems, and it's like our operational like system or our software is like being uploaded, and all the systems are a go, and it's all connecting, and we're finally being able to execute our vision. It's like our vision is clear. We're seeing it. We're seeing the path forward. And, you know, after feeling like with months and months of feeling like we've been like cloudy, like our energy hasn't been quite right. And even though we've been trying and well-meaning, it's just like nothing's been quite right. And it's been frustrating. And it's like finally, it's like, boom, all systems go. The vision is clear. Everything is connecting. Ooh, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Sometimes at work, I work at a restaurant. I'm a server, other than like my tarot and everything. Sometimes at work, I like to sneak into a table the phrase, when you hear your family, and people just go with it, and they think that I'm really saying it to them, but really it's the Olive Garden theme. And I say it knowing that, and then they're like, "It's so true, aren't we? We're all family." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're all Olive Garden." And with breadsticks. Okay. Oh my God, I love this. Oh my God, there's more than I thought. No, there's not. I thought this was build, but it's growth. Same. This was in my own weekly spread this week, so I'm very excited to see this. So we've got growth happening, and I'm so excited that these are coming out with connection and vision. And it's like, okay, yeah, starting to make the connections, vision, clear, big vision, seeing it all, seeing how it all connects. I'm seeing how I can go forward. I'm seeing the micro, like, quantum step by steps, the packets of things that I need to do, you know, the cycles that are going to get me there. And I'm growing along the way, and I'm seeing how I can grow, and I'm seeing how I can grow what I'm doing. So much expansion going on. Motherfucker. Y'all. What does that say? So much expansion going on. Does that say expand? I want to just know. Does that say expand? Torn apart at the seams. Just being, it feels like we're being ripped in two directions. Like we've got like almost like two heads, like, going in like, it's kind of this and it's that. And oh my God, I'm so exhausted, but I'm so inspired, and it's just pulling us apart. And it's like this card reminds me of the growing pains of expansion, of tearing yourself open and pushing yourself further than you thought you were capable of, further than your vision even allowed for, right? That's why we have to surrender to divine will, because our vision, our capability, our human comfort zone, our flesh, it's so limited, it's so weak, it's so, you know, it's so confined. And so we have to surrender to the divine plan, because it expands us out of our comfort zone, and it goes far beyond what we can imagine for ourselves, what we expect for ourselves, what we think we deserve. So mostly we're not connecting with that with more than what we think we deserve, because of the fact that we're not in affinity with it, because our subconscious is like, oh, this is more than I deserve. And so that's more than I deserve. You know, this it's not even thinking that we can put our consciousness around. It's like we're not even aware of it. It's invisible to us, the perception that we have, that puts a glass ceiling on what we're capable of. It puts a limit on our potential, because we're not comprehending the expanses that we can reach to until we're forced to do it. And that's why when we're put into challenges and we're like, oh my God, this is far beyond what I can deal with. And then we're pushed and we're uncomfortable for 45 minutes to 3 or 4 hours to sometimes 6 days or 7 weeks, but we're uncomfortable for a minute. But then it's like we're pushed so far that we get so uncomfortable that we can't stand it, and we take an action and we just start making sense of it all. Well, for fuck's sake. Oh my God, I guess I'm just gonna figure this out then. And so it's like you're like, what should I do? What's the laziest thing I can do right now? Make a phone call. Call somebody. Put it on them. Put it on customer service. Get them started. Like, they'll set you in the right direction. Try that. If you're like, I don't know what to do, and like Google doesn't work, try calling customer service in some realm and asking them. See what happens, right? But expand, right? So it's usually like the universe forces us into this challenge or unexpected situation. So we're forced to step out of what our lazy, frightened, insecure minds think is possible, because we think we're forced to, because we think we have no other choice. And so that's why evolution comes from pressure. It comes from our need to survive, right? Necessity is the mother of invention, not whim, right? When we talk about the 4 phases of creation phase 1 is the spark of energy that like hits us when we're like, you know, that feeling of excitement you get when you're like, I feel like I'm inspired. You don't even quite have the idea yet, but it's starting to come through, and you're just like, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And then the idea comes, and you're like, oh, you catch it, and you're like, whoa, that's a good idea. That's really fun. You get this like high off of it, and you're just like, oh, wouldn't that be great? That's creation phase 1. That is a passive desire. You have this idea, you have this inspiration, it's kind of fun, it seems like it'd be nice, but you're not like inspired enough to like really take action yet and really go for it and like put some skin in the game. And so when you get to creation phase 2, that's when you're like, you know what? I think that there's really something here. I think that there's value, and I think that something can really come of this. And so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna follow up on this, and I'm gonna work on this idea. And so that's the phase when you're like honeymoon, burning the midnight oil. You're like putting all your effort in. You're making an effort. You have a desire. You're taking action. You know, this is comparable to like early stages of dating, right? When you're doing your best, you're putting your best foot forward. You're making sure to like do all the things that you would do, you know, but you plan on like stop doing it in like 6 weeks from now. This is the unevolved self, and the person who's settling for you is still in the codependency of their unevolved self. So we're all here and we're trying to like rise above that now. Okay, so the expansion. So we're pushing past our comfort zone, right? And we are, you know, facing challenges and things that stretch us, and we need to embrace that right now. It's not that we're being challenged to be punished. It's that the new up level is here for the taking. We are out of eclipse season. We are into this grand new start, this huge new timeline jump that, you know, everyone has started to talk about. And it's like what I've been talking about for the last couple of years. It's like the series where you're the star has come to a conclusion, a finale, where we're canceling the series. But just wait. We're revamping. We're going to renew it, actually. But like the old canon for the writers does not apply anymore. The characters, they don't have to go by their old dynamics. The old storylines behind the characters that built their behavior and their impulses and their motivations that we write them based on now doesn't apply anymore. All the old baggage from the past, we can throw it out. Same characters, almost same scenarios. You know, some supporting cast have come and gone, generally the same story, but the old rules don't have to apply. And so we're in this timeline jump, and now it's up to us to basically take all of this wisdom that we've embodied, that we've been becoming more conscious of over this last year. We've been like rebirthing the new self slowly but surely over these last 10 months. And we're starting to be able to embody that. Like when we're in a situation, we're able to sort of like be in it and be aware that we're in it and be the observer observing the us in that situation. And instead of responding in a reactive, defensive, base instinct way in affect consciousness, what we're aiming to do is slow down and maybe even pause, give yourself time and be like, why is this in my movie? Why is this happening to me? This is great. This is unfolding something. This is showing me something that is unfolding in myself that I can transcend, that I can have power over, that doesn't control me and make me uncomfortable anymore, but I can reveal more ability to be fulfilled in this life, right? Why is this in my movie? And then in that microsecond that you pause, you can proactively choose how you want to be moving forward. Can you imagine if you could like give yourself time to go for a walk, go for a run, go have a long bath, do something where you're just letting yourself daydream and focus that daydream on imagining what your higher self is like. Like if that self were to swap places with you and was the self that went to school for you, went to class for you, took notes for you. That was the self that went to church or went to the family events. That was the self that got up every morning and decided how the morning was going to go. That was the self that took the paycheck and was able to allocate this into interest earning things and pay bills on time without little late fees that add up over time. And you know, that self that knows how to hear the laundry when it's finished and be like, I'm going to go fold these to completion and put them away and hang them up. Oh my God, who is that? Can you even imagine the small change in the feeling that you would have just by those weird little habits that we have that drive us crazy about ourselves that we could just shift? Like that higher self, that's cool. Easy peasy. Now imagine some of the harder things that you've had in your life, like your relationship dynamics, you know, how well you feel you've showed up for your dreams or your earning capability or what you can do with that. You know, have you fulfilled your real deep potential? Have you explored some of your passions in life or your curiosities? Like, do you feel like you've experienced adventure? You know, like really tap in and see, you know, how you can expand. But, yeah, I think I'm finished. I think we're done for the day. It's 18 minutes, not too long, not too bad. We've gotten out good. But yeah, let's go through this again. We've got connection this week, starting to make the connection with things. You know, we're being rebirthed into this higher self. And so we're connecting how we can take our earned wisdom and start embodying that, you know, in our daily life, in our comings and goings. We're seeing the vision of this higher self that we want to grow into and who we want to be in the life that we want to grow. And that's crystallizing. And so we have something more attainable and like that we can put our hand to, or we can put our eye to, or we can voice, it's crystallized. We can name it now. We can go after it. We can see it. This is all something that we're in a growth spurt right now. So this central column here, it's like we're strengthening our grit and our backbone, but we're also finding balance in that central column of between judgment and mercy. The central column is what we talk about in Kabbalah when we're balancing the governing forces within ourselves, right? When, you know, we can take our virtues and keep them virtuous. The thing about virtues, the fruits of the spirit, is that if they're not in balance, they can be vices, right? So this is when we're in balance in that central column. So we're finding balance, we're finding stability and security and groundedness and emotional sobriety. And we're able to hold on to faith beyond reason, beyond doubt, beyond our emotions, and hold strong to that. Because we're holding that vision with that faith and that certainty and that strength of that backbone, we're expanding in big ways. All the categories of our lives are expanding right now. So lots of blessing, lots of opportunities coming in. So stay grounded, take care of yourself, self-nurture, keep up your healthy, positive routines that you've been starting recently, and really like set off in this new cycle on the best foot forward. We're just out of the eclipse. It was when did the eclipse happen? Thursday, maybe? Or Saturday. It was Saturday was the eclipse. So we're fresh out of that eclipse energy. We are moving through that portal into this new beginning, this new life. And, the shadow of eclipse season lasts a couple of weeks. So the effects of this will be kind of sizzling for a minute, but it's like a sizzling skillet, right? When you turn off the burner, it slows down eventually. So that's kind of how it is right now. All right, y'all, take care. I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.